This episode of OGATCHAT is brought to you by the Woodforge. The Woodforge, your #1 dealer of handmade, battle-ready wooden swords for style or combat, training or decoration. Located at the Shrewsbury Renaissance Fair and on Facebook.com/OregonWoodforge.
Warning. The
OGATCHAT podcast
contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of OGATCHAT, the #1 of Guards and Thieves podcasts on the interwebs. My name is Ty, and my username in OGAT is Lick the Taint, and Luke's not here today. We've got another special episode for you. Sorry that Luke couldn't be here. It was a real short notice. Hey, I got to record a podcast because today, the date of the release of this episode, the new beta has been released. So it's big news. It happened too fast for me to get a hold of Luke and try to schedule a recording time. So instead, what we're going to do to celebrate the new beta launch is get the opinions of someone who hasn't played the game as much, but has played before the beta came out, the new beta came out, with another episode in the OGATCHAT interview series. This time, I'm here with CallofKyle, co-host of OGATCHAT Off the Record, the award-winning podcast. Don't ask us which awards. We won't tell you. You wouldn't have heard of them. They go to another school. Today, Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing great. That was a wonderful intro, by the way. Was that scripted?
No, that wasn't scripted. That was all off the top of my head.
Put improv on your resume.
Oh, I know. They're going to be so impressed when I show up and say, look, I host an award-winning podcast here, okay? I've got like 12 listeners. We are very famous.
I can like make up an award and give us it.
Give it, yeah, that would be a little self-aggrandizing, but I mean, if we can say, hey, we've won an award, we can be proud, even if it's
like those car safety awards. Like, what is there, an award show for cars and their safety?
It's just a bunch of bigwigs in a conference room.
Won 80 safety awards.
Wow.
They gave out 2,000 of those.
Okay, so let's, like I was saying, we got the update today, so I'm going to give you, like I was saying, the biggest pieces of this update, unless there's something that we haven't seen yet because it wasn't announced to the beta testers. Everything that you hear should be coming out today. We might be missing some stuff because they might have kept stuff hidden from us that we don't know about. But either way, before we get to that, we also are going to, of course, get to everyone's favorite segment later in the episode. You got to say it with me, though. Bug of the week. Yeah. Woo.
Better than I thought.
Yeah. Woo. But first, before we get to any of that, you currently are on vacation in California. So a lot of European listeners to this podcast, tell them, how has your trip to Hollywood, not actually Hollywood, but the land of Hollywood, California, been so far?
Oh, it's been fantastic.
Would you care to expand on that?
I really wanted to give you just like a short answer. It's very hot down here. Although I heard it's been hot back home, up there at OGATCHAT home base.
Weather report of OGATCHAT home base.
Oh, I heard it rained today though.
It did rain today. It was also a high of about 68, and that's Fahrenheit, Europeans. No, it's not bad. And yesterday the high was 70. So it's actually starting to cool down. It's supposed to keep raining for the next couple days. That is the end of your OGATCHAT home base weather report. Please continue.
It's like been really hot here. Although when I first got here, I thought I brought the clouds with me because like there was no sun at all.
Oh, how is that possible? Are you in northern or southern?
Southern, very southern. I'm like 4 hours from the Mexican border.
Holy crap. That's not a cloudy place. That's really weird that you got cloudy weather down there.
Yeah, and it was like maybe top 70. It heat up towards like 4 p.m. to get like high 70s or low 80s.
Gross.
Even though it's cloudy, first of all, so it's super gross.
Huh.
But yeah, no, it was cloudy quite a bit here.
Oh.
Like it's today, even it's not even very hot.
So what have you done on your vacation so far?
I went to India, which is right off of. It's like the poor man's Palm Springs. Ooh, I went there the first weekend I got here, and I lost $300. Pretty sweet.
How did you lose it?
The
You told me,
casino-
but I don't
the
remember.
casino, I might add. Oh, I went over to some slots. So
Oh.
here, I'll give you the gambler's breakdown. You stroll on over the ATM. The fee's $350. That was the first bad sign. The first red flag. You pop out $200. I'm like, you know what? This is like 2/3 of what I brought to throw away down here.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you get it? Those of you from Europe, that's about fuck. That's about 630 pounds.
I don't know if that's right.
Anyways, going on. I went to slots, and as you know, but they don't. I fucking hate slots.
I fucking hate slots. Why would you go to slots?
Slots are because there was all right. So I go there, and I'm a big craps guy. I think craps is pretty big in Europe as well. They actually have baccarat there as well, which is huge over there.
We
It's
don't
like
have baccarat here.
the only table that has baccarat in our state is Seven Feathers, and they have one. And it's a $15 table.
Jesus.
It's weird that I know that. Anyways,
We're not addicts.
we're enthusiasts. Anyway, so I come to find out, I heard about it and I figured, oh, maybe a casino could just buy a permit or something. No, not at all. Craps is illegal down here because in the mafia days they do street craps, and that law still holds today. And that's like the whole reason Vegas was made. They left California to go to a place with no gambling laws, and they built Vegas.
And so it was street craps outlawed because Toph was cheating
game,
by turning the dice back over to the winning hand.
Oh, we're back to the other podcast.
Yeah, going back to our failed podcast. That's not a good sign.
It's not failed. It's just disbanded.
It's just discontinued.
Till further notice.
Yeah.
Be back when Justice Tour is over.
Okay, sorry. So street craps.
Yeah, it's illegal down here. Along with the law states a game with stakes cannot be determined by the roll of a die or the spin of a wheel.
So is roulette?
They have roulette here, but it's a big wheel that has cards inside of slots, and then they just draw the card that it lands on, and it has the picture of the result. And they used to have card craps where you would shuffle a deck, they'd pass it to you, you'd split the deck, and then they draw it, which is boring as hell.
Fucking call me foreign, you.
Throwing dice, it's fun.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, dice that's the biggest part of that's what craps is the dice throw, right?
Oh yeah.
But okay, so
nobody was cheering at those tables.
So far you've told us that you got $200 out of the ATM and you walked over to the slots.
Yeah, and I just kind of dicked around with slots for the first $100, and then I went over to blackjack, and I played for like 3 hours at least. It was a really good couple shoes, and I got up to like 350, and it was like 9, 10ish by that time, and I
in the morning.
I was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave anyways. So I'm gonna make a couple big bets. So I did like 20. Lost, then I doubled it 40 because I like to chase my money, and then I lost that and I doubled it to 80, and I was like, oh, this is it, this is the big one, and I lost that one, so I just went to the hotel. But I broke even that night.
Well, so it's safe to say that you like to chase your bets, but your bets were faster than you.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Oh, that's sad. So that reminds me of, did I tell you what Dr. Johnson told me before when we were doing the all-night party for Colby when he graduated?
No.
Okay, so he was telling me, I didn't realize that Dr. Johnson was a band teacher in our high school. He is like a gambling wizard, kind of like you are with craps. Like craps was his thing. He knew every bet. He knew exactly what you needed to do and blah, blah, blah. But blackjack too. He was a huge he told his son when him, his son, me, and my dad was dealing for us while we were waiting for people to show up. He was his son didn't know how to play, and he had like a 13, and dad, the dealer, was showing 6, and so he was like, well, what do I do here? And his dad was like, you don't hit, and if you do hit and you take the dealer's bust card, I'm going to kill you. I was like, oh my god. Okay. So anyway, he was telling me,
those guys.
yeah, he's one of the guys that gets pissed at the table because you took the card that they could have used, or like the dealer's bust card. He's one of those people. But he was saying that with blackjack, the only way to come out ahead is to take the big bets on good hands. So if you don't always split, double down, statistically, every game in the casino, you lose. That's the whole point, is they get your money, and you might win with some or leave with more than you came in with, but statistically, you lose. So if you don't capitalize on the moments that you do have a good hand in blackjack specifically, double down when you've got a 10 or 11, anything like that. He said you have to be risky with those bets so that when you keep losing the standard bets or whatever, you have built up enough of a stockpile to hold out until the next good bet, and then or good hand, and then double that. And it worked for me when I was telling you the other day. That literally means nothing, by the way. That doesn't mean that you'll never win. You don't
It's not like
win.
a guaranteed system.
No,
ever.
but
Right.
if it works when it works. So, and it worked for me the other night. I came out, but I stopped too. I got $45 up from winning back. I got up on roulette, got back down underneath what I came in with, and then went to blackjack, got 45 above where I started, and then just stopped and watched people play craps for another hour before leaving. But that worked for me. So don't do slots, kids. That's the moral of the story, I think.
You could do slots, just don't expect to win anything.
Actually, my dad, this one slots game that he was playing when I had quit blackjack and went over and started watching him just to piss time away. He was doing really well.
Walk over too that they do well. I did when I went with my dad. I came over. I'm like, you're on a 5-cent machine, right? And he's like, what? And then he's like, all right, I'm gonna just finish these credits. Then I'm off of this thing. He won $700.
Yeah, hell yeah. My dad was on a penny slot, and he was up at he put $5 in, and he cashed out with 60, but he was up to like 100, and then back to, he was just crushing those fucking free games they give you for hitting the right and he got, I shit you not, it was the Wheel of Fortune one. It wasn't the actual Wheel of Fortune brand, but it was if you got 3 bonuses, there was the big wheel up top that would spin, and he got the bonus wheel like 12 or 13 times in 15 minutes. It was,
my dad plays that one a lot.
It was
Dad's
nuts.
like that one.
It was crazy. But this is not the gambling podcast, though. Note to self: I actually would that would be a good podcast.
About just gambling.
Gambling addict podcast. We should just do a whole episode of OGAT chat off the record, all on gambling. That would be pretty fun.
We could just start our own casino scam. Be like, beat the casino. Join us. $5 a month.
For $5 a month, we'll give you our secrets. Beat the red man at his game.
Simple trick.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else in your vacation, or has that kind of been your main thing?
That's like all I've done. Yep.
Oh. Lost money at
I lost $300. The end.
Woo! Right on. I'm going to take a pause for the cause here, take a little piss break. I know I drank a cup of coffee a little bit ago, so that's my excuse. I'll be right back. Okay, anyways.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. We're back. And so your vacation, you lost $300. We already talked about that, sorry. So let's move on to the update. That's what we're here to do, talk about of Guards and Thieves. We got the update today. Big day. This has been coming for a while. It's been 84 years It has been since October 25th of 2018 was when we got the last update for this game. And today, what should have come out, which again, we are recording this the day before the update is scheduled to release. So there might be some stuff in here that we don't even know about because we didn't get to test it during the beta. But what should have been here, and what we're going to do, is I'm going to run each one of these things, the big things, by Kyle to see what you think, because this is an interview, what you think of these additions to the game. You haven't seen them yet. You weren't doing the beta test. So if you have questions, ask me, and if I got enough from the beta, I'll answer it. But just to kind of think, since you're pretty new to the game, you haven't really had much experience with the old beta either. But let's see what you think. The first big article here is that there's a new user interface. You haven't seen it yet, but I can tell you it's pretty slick. It's a lot more, there's a lot of dissolve transitions, and it's a different color scheme. It's not as dark. It's a little more bluish gray. There's a lot of nicer upgrades to the character models in the class selection. They have poses and they spin. They're in 3D, so you can see the skins and whatnot that you've got on, which we'll get to in a minute. But what do you think? It's going to be tough to do this one because you haven't seen it. But what did you think of the old UI, the one that you played on until today?
That's just the main menu and the interactive, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty. I could tell when you showed me this game, I could tell oh man, this is old. It reminded me a lot of old Left 4 Dead multiplayer.
Okay.
Although I played the cracked version because I was a poor little boy. It really reminded me of a pirated game. It didn't look very polished at all. It felt very like this game is made by two dudes in a basement. And there have been better things. Minecraft came from that.
I just want to let you know this game is literally made by two developers
in the basement.
Yeah.
Well, that was easy. I didn't read the history of the game. Okay.
I don't even think you can.
I clicked it.
I don't even think you can read the history. They had a Trello page where they would do the they would development updates and all that kind of crap, right? They stopped updating that. So that's cool.
Bros.
Yeah, a couple real chads.
Another red flag was it's an early access, free to play early access.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means. I was like, oh, okay, Ty.
What is this game you've
I'll take it.
bestowed upon me? No, it's definitely it's been in early access since 2014. So it's been a while.
I do hope the new UI looks really a lot better. It just seemed like the first idea they had for the UI they went with. There wasn't any all the buttons are still the same color as the background. They're just glossy.
Yeah.
Server browsing is old school server browsing.
Yeah. It is still like that. The server browser hasn't really changed much. The buttons still blend into the background, but like I was saying, it's a lot sharper looking. The color scheme's a little brighter. The transitions are really what gets it for me. There's a lot more. When you click on something, it doesn't just swipe away or show up on the screen instantly. There's a dissolve transition between menus, and it looks pretty clean. I think you'll like it.
This is hard. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I figured. So let's move on. The next big thing is that we're going to get some... this is going to be an interesting one. You don't have the gold user thing, so you can't do map editor, but we're going to be able to make custom soccer maps, which is awesome. I have been looking forward to this for a long time. I love the soccer game mode. Have you ever played it yet? You did. We played it with... we played it just the other day with...
quite a couple hours.
Yeah, it was an awesome night. The soccer game mode has always been a favorite, and the fact that we'll be able to make our own maps. I already made some actually tonight. I got on there and made the outline, the layout for the map, so that tomorrow, when the beta today, when this episode comes out, when that's actually released, I'll be able to just drag and drop the soccer game mode stuff into the maps and put them where they need to be, and then upload them. And hopefully they work, because they're not run-of-the-mill soccer maps, but we'll see. We'll see. What do you think of that?
I think that's really sweet. I think like it's not very often you see, like, sure, there's Steam Workshop, but like the actual developers implementing things, allowing the community to affect it, especially with a game this small. I think that's a really good move, because the people who do play this are really dedicated and they'll want to contribute to the game. And if they're allowed to contribute to it and like edit their own maps, and if they make something like other people will play it, I think that'll really hold them to the game.
That's interesting that you say that. So another feature that I didn't write down in this little short list, but because I forgot about it, the original maps that we played on: mansion, office, police department, cemetery, the other one, military camp. Those aren't going to be available anymore after this new update, because those were made with the Unity engine that they used for the old version of the game, but they aren't compatible with this new version. So
Are they switching engines?
yeah. So
Okay.
all of the new maps that you'll be able to vote on in the dedicated servers are made by players, and most of them, I think, are going to be what we were testing on in the beta. Might not be what actually shows up in the release tomorrow or today when this episode comes out, but a lot of the old time players, or just players that have been involved in the community for a while, they've remade the original maps, or most of them, in the new map editor. And so we will still get office and mansion and some of the VR maps, but most of what we were choosing from when you were voting on a map in the dedicated servers during the beta testing was they were all custom made from players, but a lot of them were unique new maps that we hadn't really seen before. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty. And I'm sure like the community will just remake them.
Yeah, they've done pretty good, faithful.
Like, they're not gonna bother. They know some kid is just gonna.
Yeah, it's true. And actually, what's kind of cool is that one of the players that remade the office map, and I think the mansion map too, they remade it a 1-to-1 copy, or as close to 1-to-1 as you could get. But then they also made a second version that had a few tweaks to make it what they thought to be a little more balanced, to fix some of the issues people had with the original maps, by adding an extra hallway here so that the guards can get from this area of the map to this area a little faster, because before that was a weak spot, or multiple ways for the guards to leave their spawn because it was too easy to trap them in their spawn with wires or fire or something if they only had one exit. So just little things like that to make the maps more balanced. It's kind of cool. So let's see. Speaking of what you were saying, players contributing, this is going to be an interesting one, because I don't know your stance on this facet of gaming. OGAT coins are going to be added to the game that you can earn through gameplay. You'll earn a certain amount of coins per game, and there will be daily challenges for extra coins, and you, depending on how well you do on your team, I think they were saying, you'll get more coins if you're performing better, but I wasn't sure on that. And those coins are used to buy character and gun skins. And the alternative is that you can also buy the coins with real money. Right now, if I remember right, 1,000 coins was $5 US. Gosh, I don't remember, but it was in increments of $5, $15, $40, maybe 10 as well. 5, 10, 15, and 4, or 5, 10, and 40, something like that. I don't actually remember, and I probably should have looked that up. But what do you think of that kind of a microtransaction approach?
I think that's really good, especially like in this game where it's nothing that'll affect gameplay. Like, It's a free to play game. I think it should be by default. Like I was surprised I didn't see it when I first got this game. That in a free to play game, that there isn't some kind of vanity marketplace using real money.
That's interesting to hear you say that.
Have that because like, how are they gonna make money? I saw like the DLCs. I didn't really read too much into them. I just got the game and got on with you.
Yeah. The DLCs
I
were
only really play with you.
They were so it's like $8 I think for the gold DLC that gets you gold skins, and that's what allows you to host certain game modes that were blocked off. So map editor, and a few different just dorky side game modes like I think racing and Madball, just the kind of dorky game modes were gold. You had to have a gold account to host them, but you didn't have to have a gold account to play them. And it also instantly unlocked all the classes instead of getting to like level 20 or something. And then Founder's Army or Funder's Army, it's just skins. It's more of a donation. It's $25, and it was it was their way of making money because, like you said, they didn't have transactions until now. And it was $25 for some red skins, but that was about it. It was just a way to say, hey, we like the game enough to give you some money. Here you go.
Oh, that's good. That's what I was thinking. I think it's really important if they're making a free to play game to keep it going, because there's so many games where they released this big free, like DayZ, that was huge. And it just launched on console.
How did they get to console? What the hell?
They had so much going for them. They had a huge community, and it was just a mod for Arma 2, then Arma 3. And
how did they get to console?
So much faster if they had a way to market it. They didn't have any way to market it. There was no way to make money off of this free mod for a game that they already sold, that people are only buying for this extension of it.
Yeah.
They didn't have like a skin thing, anything like that, and that's why I think it took so long for them to finally. Now they're finally on console, and they're a little late to the game. Zombie games are a little out of the loop right now.
And did they ever fix the whole like entire broken game issue, or is it still unplayable?
They launched a solo version on Steam.
Who plays DayZ solo? That's retarded.
No, I meant like a standalone.
Oh, yeah, and the standalone was broke as fuck. That's the one that I had. I bought the standalone years ago, and it was...
And yeah, I'm sure they didn't fix it because they didn't have a lot of money.
It was the most broken, buggy...
There's nothing to fund it.
I can't believe it was $30. It was worth maybe 30 cents on a good day. It was so bad. But
I didn't even bother. I think I tried the mod and it wouldn't work, so I just gave up.
Yeah. It's kind of Arma games.
I know it was huge. So many people were talking about it in school, and I was very interested in it. But now I see what their main problem was. They don't got no money.
Yeah. Well, so like I said, the money can buy you the OGAT coins, or you can grind through gameplay to buy character and gun skins. So there's a store the shop is going to be launched today as well. There will only be so many. I think there was probably 6 items for sale, maybe 7, but I think 6 is how many they had per week, and they're gonna switch skins out every week, what's featured, and that's what you can buy. So that'll be cool. I like
that you can earn it. They didn't have to do that. They could have just simply charged for it, but they had a way to earn it with gameplay.
And it'll definitely be a grind. They said they're going to tweak the amount of coins you earn at the start. So day 1, unless they changed it between today and tomorrow when we recorded, the idea was if you're on the winning team, you would get 8 coins. And if you're on the losing team, you'd get 4 coins. And the cheapest skin that they had for sale during the beta test was 120 coins. So it'll take some grinding to get the rare. They did do a tier ranking system for the skins.
It's not that bad though. Like the games aren't very long. What, 5-10 minutes? Maybe?
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah, depending on the game mode, or shorter if it's Guards and Thieves and the thieves win real quick. The game's over in minute and a half, 2 minutes.
And we did a lot of customs, and I'm not sure if it would apply to that as well.
Yeah,
Like you have to be on a dedicated server.
And that's what we never really got a straight answer, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes, because we didn't hear either way if it was just from the dedicated servers that you get those coins or not. But either way, it's going to be pretty cool. Sorry, I'm just checking. I don't think Brianna's not home yet. But that's basically it. Unless they added stuff to the game since we played in the beta, that should cover pretty much the biggest. That should cover the biggest points of update, which is awesome. It's been a long time coming. Like I said, October of last year was the last update, so it's actually a short wait time between updates, I think.
Almost a whole year before patches.
Yeah, they're pretty. They tend
Did
to
even like bug fix in the meantime or anything?
Sometimes we had to kind of pressure them. There was a pretty bad bug with the Guardian class that it took a lot of prodding to say, hey, this is being abused really bad. Everyone knows how to do it now. You need to fix it. And they did say, oh, we're going to wait until the next update. But then when enough people in the Discord, which, by the way, join the Discord, the official of Guards and Thieves Discord people, all 6 of you that listen to this, if you're, who are we kidding?
Is that the one they added me to?
I'll send you a link, but everyone that listens to this is already in the Discord. But if you don't, if you find people, tell them. That's another thing they actually added to the UI, a direct link at the startup page. It says, hey, play the game, join the community. And so the community is just a link to Discord to get more people involved in that. But yeah, they have done a few bug fixes like that, but for the most part, they just wait and load a bunch of stuff into a single update and then push it out once a year, maybe twice. So let's move on. That covers the basics of what we knew about the beta update as of the day before it launched, unless I forgot something, and my bad. It's my show, though. We're going to move on to everyone's favorite subject. Say it with me again. Bug of the week. Yeah. Woo. This is
you clipped a lot on that on my end.
My end shows it's okay. I didn't hit the yellow or the red. So.
No, I'm sure the recording is fine. I meant the call.
This is going to be an interesting bug of the week. We actually aren't going to talk about a specific bug like we normally do. Kyle has an interesting perspective here on the lack of bugs that he's seen since he's played the game. Tell me about it.
Well, just the fact, like, in any game really I'm playing, I don't know, unless the bug directly affects my ability to play. Like say, the continue button stops working. Or something like that. Or the inventory stays open while I'm playing.
Okay.
Even though I closed the damn thing. Things like that. You have to notice. It's right in front of your face.
Right.
But other bugs, like, I go, that's funny, and then I move past. I don't think about it at all. I don't even think to recognize it as a bug. I'll just, like, if there's a pole and I can walk through it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to walk through that pole, but I did it.
Or you just
I'm
went
not going to
ghost.
think to put a report or anything like that. And I haven't noticed really much at all, although I'm not too familiar with how the game flows.
Yeah, that's true. I would still classify you as noob.
It's very uncalled for. You're hearing from my lawyers after this.
You want to take this outside? Let's go right now.
It's getting nice, actually, yeah.
Kick your fucking ass.
We could play kickball.
Let's go. I'm going to beat you.
On a cul-de-sac, we could do hockey, cement hockey.
Oh, street hockey, like Rocket Power. You remember that show?
Unfortunately.
Hey, little brother. Yeah, dude. Well, that's cool. That's good to hear that you haven't really noticed anything, because, I mean, I think the bugs are a little overblown. We have a segment on our show called Bug of the Week because there's so many bugs in this game. The developers know it. Everyone kind of knows it. But I think probably on the Discord, with the exception of the Guardian bug, because that was a game-breaking... It didn't crash your game, but it ruined matches. with the exception of that one and maybe a few other big ones, I think most of the bugs are kind of overplayed in the server because the only people that complain about them are the people that play the game so much that they notice them. So that's good to hear that you, as a new player, don't have issues with the bugs like the old-time players do.
Yeah, I haven't noticed anything for real. I mean it.
Good.
Nothing. It's definitely just me being bad at the game. I have not run into anything frustrating.
Everyone starts out there. Hey, I gotta pee again.
Okay,
I'll be back.
we'll be back, guys.
Sorry. I tried to hold it as much as I could. But let's wrap
You said
this
a
up.
bunch of curse words while you were gone.
I'll edit them out or just put a bunch of bleeps over them. Let's wrap this up because I gotta eat and then I gotta go to karate tonight, and you probably have to leave soon too. Although it seems like your what did you say, your cousin abandoned you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that sucks.
All by myself.
Yeah, that I think wraps us up. So, do you have any closing words? Anything besides, hey, let's start a gambling podcast because we'd be pros at that. We're pros at losing money.
You know,
All right,
just-
that'll do it for us, folks. Good closing words of wisdom from CallofKyle. No, did you actually have something to say?
No.
All right. Well,
Just do an impression of me saying something cool. I don't know.
I'll do a deep fake video of you singing the Soviet national anthem or something. All right, people. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for listening. All of you that made it this far. We are 41 minutes into this recording, so it'll probably be a little shorter than that, but it's still a long episode. But it's a big day. New OGAT beta. Let's hope that it's
knock it to 30.
Yeah, I probably could.
Maybe cut some of the gambling ramble at the beginning.
Yeah, I kind of got a little into the weeds there, but anywho, I hope everyone enjoys the new beta. We're all excited to get playing, and we will catch you on the next episode of OGAT Chat. As we always say at the end of our episodes, have a great day. You have to say it too.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.